Good. Systems analysts must confirm exactly what is happening during a particular process. This observation can be used as input in the system design phase of the SDLC. Gathering data about the existing process and system is important for the analyst to be able to build a logical model of the new system. An analyst performs a step called requirements modeling to investigate business processes and to document what the new system must do. The observation is used to build business models, data and process models, and object models. Observation is done before and after improvements to know the impact of the new system. There are various things we need to consider. First is the work in process. This is the amount of work that has entered the process but has not yet been completed. An analyst must look at the efficiency of the existing process performed by the workers. This observation can serve as a baseline of the amount of work that needs to be completed and the amount of time required in the processing of the work. Demand variation. The average number of work items that are completed in a given period of time. An analyst must know the amount of items or amount of work a worker must finish in a specified time of his job. If the worker completes or produces fewer numbers than the quota, something must be wrong and needs to be improved to increase the number of completed items. Average completion rate. The number of work items that are completed in a given time period.
RR, how many do you normally finish in a day?
I normally finish 5 in a day.
First pass yield. It is the percentage of work in process that make it all the way through the process for the first time without needing to be fixed or rehandled in some way. The process must be in good flow and run with few errors. Having a high percentage means that a good process flow and with few errors. If many defects or reworks are done, something must be wrong with the process or system. Lean process. The core idea is to maximize customer value while minimizing waste. Simply, lean makes creating more values for customers with fewer resources. There are 5 steps for creating this lean process. First is to specify value from the standpoint of the end customer by product family. Second is to identify all steps in the value stream for each product family, eliminating whatever possible to those steps that do not create value. Third is to make the value creating steps occur in tight sequences so that the product will flow smoothly towards the customer. Fourth is that as the flow is introduced, let customers pull value from the next upstream activity. Fifth, the final step is as value is specified, Value streams are identified, wasted steps are removed, and flow and pull are introduced. Begin the process again and continue until the state of perfection is reached, in which perfect value is created with no waste. There are 7 ways that lean typically eliminates. First is overproduction. Second is waiting. Third is transporting. Fourth is inappropriate processing. Fifth is unnecessary inventory. Sixth is unnecessary or excess motion. And seventh is defects. Approvals before work can be completed or handoffs back and forth between the groups of people. High numbers of either of these might indicate that your process is running slower than necessary. Lean process generally operate in low numbers of approvals and handoffs and high levels of quality.
RR! Can you please avoid going to the restroom, playing iPad Touch, and sleeping? Okay?
Okay.
Is that a deal?
Take 2. Cycles or lead times. It is the amount of time it takes for any work item to make it through the process from beginning to end. Setup and downtime. It is any delays or productivity loss that occur when persons switch tasks. Indeed, a collection impartial observations of how the process is currently running are critical in identifying waste and with respect to times and materials. Pattern. Subjects of observation, like employees, tend to change behavior when they know they are being observed. They tend to be productive even though external conditions have been changed, like the reduction and the addition of lighting. It is the social interaction of management towards employees that motivate them, thus increasing productivity. Simply said, by catering to the needs of the employees, it can lead to higher productivity. Strobe analyzes 7 environmental elements: office location, placement of the decision maker's desk, stationary office equipment, props, external objects, official lighting and color, and clothing. You could say that office locations are accessible when there are main corridors, open doors, major traffic flow areas, and increase in interaction frequency and informal messages. It is inaccessible when someone may view our organization differently and drift apart from others in objectives. The placement of the decision maker's desk can also indicate various scenarios, like visitors in a tight space, back to the wall, large expense behind the desk can indicate maximum power position, while desk facing the wall, chair at sides encourages participation and equal exchanges. The presence of file cabinets and bookshelves encourages persons to store and value more information. While not present, persons usually store few items in information personally. Props like calculators, personal computers, pens, pencils, and rulers, when present, allows the person to process data more personally. Trade journals and newspapers are present when indicate the person values outside information. Company reports, memos, policies, handbooks indicate the person values internal information. When office lighting is warm, there is a tendency towards more personal communication and more informal communication. Brightly lit light colors indicate more formal communications like memos and reports. As for clothing, to indicate maximum authority, males tend to wear formal three-piece suit. As for females, skirted suits. For less casual dressing, it allows more participative decision making.
You go do your work or whatever. Do your work. Good job.
The Delphi method is based on structural surveys and makes use of intuitive, available information of the participants who are experts. Therefore, it delivers qualitative as well as quantitative results, and beneath it exploratory, predictive, even normative elements. The Delphi method is mainly used when long-term issues have been assessed. The Delphi is an expert survey in one or two more rounds, which the second and later rounds of the survey evaluate and analyze the results of the previous rounds and are given as feedback. Therefore, the experts answered the second round under the influence of their colleagues' opinions.